Hi guys, my name is Steve B. Um, I I'm here to talk to you about staying sober for today, and I think I've got a pretty good topic to talk about. It's uh it's a saying that when I first got into recovery, I used to hear all the time, "Go to any length to get sober," and and I think that's a good thing for people to keep in mind that sobriety is number one. It comes over everything, and to go to any length to get sober, you're probably going to have a better recovery than if you don't. you know um I honestly think there's a lot of things you can do to for that. And there's tools to use. And first of all, I would say, like, get a lot of numbers. If you're a guy, get a lot of guys' numbers. If you're a girl, get a lot of girls' numbers, and don't be afraid to use them, because it's going to save your life. It could save your life. And all right, so you get a lot of telephone numbers. I got 1,000 guys' numbers. I got numbers. You know, and it's good to have. I'm not very good. I'm not proud of this, but I'm not good at using the phone. I'm more likely to text you than to call you. But it's actually nice to hear someone's voice on the other end of the phone, and it's nice to know that somebody's actually there. When you're texting, you can kind of mistake, like a text for being a certain attitude or something like that, and it's not necessarily so. You can't get the same kind of result from a text that you can from a phone number. And that's something I've always done for going on 33 years. I always got a lot of numbers. If I like a person's program and I want to, I'll ask for their number, and so I got lots and lots and lots of them. I don't know them by heart, because in this day and age you don't have to know numbers by heart. You just see the name, hit the name, and there you go. It'll call the number of that person. And sometimes it's like you're against the wall, and and you gotta do something about it. And believe me, sometimes calling somebody, you're gonna two alcoholics talking to each other. That's how the program started in the very beginning, and that's how it works today. Two alcoholics talking to each other. And only another alcoholic knows another alcoholic. I used to think, well, I used to think counselors or psychiatrists or psychologists or all something like that, they can help you better than anybody, but that's not the case. That's not the case. The case is that one alcoholic helping another alcoholic keeps you sober. And then that's what meetings are made up of. They're made up of people that are recovering alcoholics that want to stay sober. And I don't know. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. And if it ain't broken, don't fix it. I'm like I said, going on 33 years, one day at a time. I don't mistake that and think, oh, I'm cured. It says our literature, and there's a lot of it, says that we are never cured. We're never cured. We can arrest it one day at a time. And I'm good with that. I'm good with the one day at a time concept. You know, it's like, yeah, one day at a time. Is there any other option? No, but one day at a time, you live in the present. You do things in the present. You look at what's right in front of you. You don't look behind. You don't look too far ahead, because there's nothing up there. Yesterday's history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today's a gift. That's why they call it the present. And so I need to live in the present every single freaking day, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that. You know, um, sometimes I go off into the near future, or maybe look too much at the past. But the bottom line is I got to stay where my feet are planted. Where my feet are planted is where the present moment is. And yes, one day at a time. Um, but going to any length to get sober, it's like there are some things there's triggers. I I never really. I mean, I was very blessed. When I came in to recovery, I had I knew it. I knew it. I was at a party, and there was a lot of people there. We made a big circle, and everybody had a little toast glass, and they had their champagne in the toast glass, and I too had that. I had that, and I knew what I was going to do when the time came around. I held the glass. I put it down. I didn't taste it. I didn't touch it. And that's why I always made New Year's Day my my anniversary. It really wasn't, because I actually stopped a few days earlier. I'm not sure exactly what day before New Year's, but it was between Christmas and New Year's. And I knew it when I put that glass down. I knew it. I was done. I was done. It was kind of like an object lesson, and making a statement that I've had enough. I've had enough. And since I went into recovery, yeah, I would have been willing to go to any length to stay sober. I used to go to a lot of conventions. I used to go to a lot of meetings, where you're talking to people and meeting new people. Go to a lot of meetings, and I still do. There's this saying that they used to say way back when, and I hated it in the beginning, but I love it now. And it's called, meeting makers make it. They used to say that, and it's like, I hate that. I hate that. But looking back now and looking ahead, it's like meeting makers make it. I mean, the ones that don't go to meetings, the ones that cut it off, the ones that stop going or decide they're cured or whatever. And I've seen both sides, and it's not good. It's not good. Meeting makers make it. I'll say that till the day I die. And it's possible to stay sober without that, but with this guy, I stay away from meetings for long enough, and I get a little cuckoo. I get a little crazy. I need the meetings. I need the people. I need the steps. I need guys in my life, and women too. But they used to say the guys with the guys, the women with the women, and I kind of agree with that, because you can get sidetracked. You can get sidetracked, and you can put your sobriety in second rather than first, and it's not good. Put your recovery above everything else. You know, put your recovery first, and believe me, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay if you put your recovery first. Now, I see a lot of people fall by the wayside that don't. You know, I remember a guy. His name was Mark, and he was a good guy, and we got to be friends, and he kind of like wanted to. He liked my program, and he wanted to like do a couple of things. Like he wanted to share a step forward with me, and he did. And I guess he liked talking to me, but he was chairing a meeting. I'm not sure what kind of a meeting it was, but I guess he really liked sharing that meeting, and he drank again. And I told him, I said, Mark, you got to let go of chairing that meeting. You can't chair it if you just drank. And sad words, he said. He goes, I can't tell him I drank. I can't do that. And he was adamant. And then I hadn't seen him for a long while. And someone else in the program told me later that he had committed suicide. And that kind of stuff happens in recovery. It's very sad. But it's really, really sad. But what are you gonna do? It happens. And some people are gonna make it and some don't make it. But it's a heartbreaking thing. Alcoholics and addicts are heartbreaking people. They're heartbreakers. They hurt people. They hurt them in different ways. Their addiction, their alcoholism, and their behavior, and I don't know, going to any length to get it. You gotta be. I mean, if you're shaky and you're going to a bar to hear a band, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. And if somebody asked me, well, what do you think of that? I'd say, I I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. For one thing, I have no desire to go to a bar to hear a band. There was a time when I really liked karaoke, and I was doing that, but it was not non-alcohol karaoke place. They didn't have any alcohol there, and I liked it too. I probably suck as a singer, but I love to get up there and sing Neil Diamond and stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun for me. I enjoyed it. Just because we're sober doesn't mean we can't have fun. I've been to lots of concerts, but I don't want to drink. The last one I went to was over at the casino, and I was watching people that were drinking. It was kind of entertaining, but it doesn't make me want to do the same thing. I just lost that desire, and I thank God Almighty that I lost the desire. I hope I don't get it back again. My living sober is a fantastic thing, and I don't want to throw it away. And that would be throwing it away. And there are people that like to romance to drink. I used to go to meetings and hear people say, I miss going to the clubs. And then the next thing they're going to the club and they're drinking again. And you can't always get it back. Like you could say, oh, well, drink now, but tomorrow you'll start again. And tomorrow you're gonna have a nightmare on your hands, because drinking brings all the shame and remorse and guilt, and not to mention, for me, I was a blackout drinker, so I don't know what the hell I do in a blackout. I have heard someone tell me one time that I wouldn't like myself drunk. And they said that I turn into a completely different person. Well, I don't want to turn into a completely different person. I've worked hard at being the way I am. And, sometimes it ain't good, but I could always work on it. If I'm drinking, I can't work on it. If I'm drunk or whatever, God isn't pleased with me. I believe that drunkenness is a sin. I don't know. You guys could feel how you want about that, but I believe it is. And that's not the way God wanted us to behave, to act, to live our life in a bottle. And I'm the most thankful person in the world that God delivered me from that, because I spent 20 years drinking. Going on 33 sober. I got quite an interesting history, but I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back there. That person is back there, but I don't want to go. I want to stay where I am. I want to keep doing what I'm doing one day at a time, and keep in mind, be willing to go to any length to get sober, to stay sober. Be willing for that, because sobriety is the way God meant it for us to be, to live, and it's I gotta tell you, it's the best way of life there is. Guys, give me a like and subscribe. Give me a comment if you want. Love to hear from you. God bless.